Good morning, this is Danka Metcalf with TradeOutloud.com. Welcome to my pre-market game plan for the major future indices, gold and oil. For today, Wednesday, December 28th, it is 9:08 a.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to start with YM. We have an hourly chart in front of us, and we had an amazing rally throughout the extended session. So we have newly found support at 19,873, which is long way from where price is trading right now. We have topped off right here at 19,920, which is a heavy resistance area on strength, which means that the price is really trying to erase these prior clusters of resistance at this point and break higher, probably into an attempt to try to challenge that 20,000 desired area by the end of the year. So let's take a look at a game plan here. So the more we consolidate within this area, I'm going to look for the 910 area, 910, 915 area as a possible area of correction from which price can stabilize from the open and then continue higher. So wait for the first 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes from the open, from 9:30 to 9:35, even 9:45. You know your trigger times for those of you that are my students, and look for a support area that is being developed there on a minor time frame, 1 or 2 minute, and look for a support level there around this area, whether 10 or 15 or even 13, and for a continuation higher. So the trigger would be probably around 15 or 20, or perhaps if your support should develop at 15 and then the trigger at 20 for a continuation higher. And I'm going to give you the following targets to look for. Well, first of all, you're going to look for 33, which is this high right here, and that is 19,933. Other than that, you're going to go straight to the 950 area. Other than that, you're going to trail it all the way to 20,000. So for those of you that got in here and perhaps have traded the overnight extended session, look for a correction onto a 15-minute chart or even a 30-minute chart for a pivot low for where you can potentially bring your stop up for a continuation higher. So as of this moment, for a day trade, we're going to look for these parameters right here from 10 to 15, from 10 to 20. It's a 10-point range. I would say approximately 5 to 10-point range where we would wait for the price to stabilize. And like I said, it looks good to continue higher. And we're just going to have to wait for a little pullback because we've had this extreme rally, so we can't just jump in the trade as much as we would like to. Okay, similar pattern encountered in the E-mini S&P 500 index with support developed at the 2260 area. No surprise there. It is an area of minor support. Price bounced heavily into this cluster of resistance right here, not taking out these highs, which means that we still have room to continue higher into the 2269, 2270 area, and 2280 area also is a target for it. At this point, it's finding resistance at 2267, a little bit of correction. And if we get a pullback, I would say all the way to 2266 area, this may be a good correction area for it to look for another possible continuation higher. Not my favorite pattern, so I'm not going to be trading ES, and that is for sure. Other than that, NQ had an amazing rally yesterday, and for those of you that it happened very, very quickly off the open. As you can see, this climactic bar on the hourly, and it was literally a 2-bar on the 15-minute chart. So I'm sure many of you have caught it from my video. You have plenty of reaction time from the open. Which happened here at the 49.55 area, and we had a 5-point stop here. It happened very, very fast, so you just had to had your hands on your buttons for it. We got a pullback here, and the support area that we have developed is the 49.60 area. We can look for a potential continuation higher into this 49.95 area, but right now the price is topping out at 49.80 area. It's finding resistance right here, so we're gonna look to see how it develops. So it's a little bit weak. So remember, support that you will be looking for in Q for a possible stop area is going to be right here into 49.72 area. So it's a little wider at this point. It's 72 by 80. So that's going to be your parameters for today for NQ. Other than that, the targets, like I've mentioned before, 49.94 for a high, and obviously we're going to go for the 5,000 area. All right, I'm going to throw in the Russell 2000 index in mini futures, which is similar, had a similar reaction, much sloppier entry here at 1370 yesterday, which I didn't like and I did not trade. It had a beautiful run to the upside, a pullback throughout the extended session, formed a support at 1372.70 and continuation higher, found stabilized at 74, broke out higher, found resistance into these clusters that were developed in the afternoon hours of the New York session. And this is going to be the clue here. The more we stabilize between 75 and 78 area, wait for a pullback into this area and possible continuation higher into the 1381 and a continuation higher, further targets into 86 and even 95, which is the all-time high for Russell at 1395. All right, so last but not least, let's take a look at gold. And actually I have seen a lot of activity in gold and silver yesterday. In fact, I am into a silver trade, but that is an ETF, ETFs, so trading stocks and ETFs. However, because there was and the reason why I didn't call a trade of silver is because it had an increased risk to reward ratio. That was the only reason, and the position sizing would be a little bit on the riskier side. So all right, so let's take a look at GC right here. So in the extended session, we had a rally up all the way to 1151, and that was on Monday. So yesterday it came back down into the New York session. We found support at at 1136, bounced higher, came back, found support 1139, from which we bounced, found resistance into the prior resistance at 45. Price got rejected and found support into this minor support area, which is a cushion area all the way from 1137.50 all the way to 1136. All right, so it's a cushion area. So from this area, every single time the price bounces, every time the price visits these areas for the last 2 times, it has found support in this cushion area and it has bounced. So we're going to be looking at this as well. Not one of my favorite trades for today. So GC, I'm going to keep an eye on it, but not my absolute favorite. Okay, CL. Okay, this is light sweet crude oil futures, rally up back to $54, and it is really trying to set. It is actually trading into a nearly high right here. Okay, so it $54.29. No, we had 54.50. We had 54.50, but it's very, very close to trading over the yearly high. So right now, I like the continuation higher, although it's a little risky at this point. Remember that it is Wednesday, and we have oil numbers coming out at 10:30. I would wait for the price to stabilize a little bit. I don't have an entry as of right now. I don't have an entry. I'm looking at the minor time frames right now, and I don't have an entry. 54.11. With support from a bounce at 75, so way too increased risk right here. All right, my popular demand, guys, ZB. You know your ZB traders, okay? 30-year U.S. Treasury bond futures bounced strongly from the 148 area and where it found support here yesterday. We actually traded all the way into the 148.06 area, finding support here, bounced. I think that it is in a very critical area right here. We have that 20 that is pressing on the daily chart, and we don't have a daily trigger as of yet, so it puts it into neutral territory in my books. So at this point, we have heavy resistance at 148, and we have the resistance from the daily chart that can actually push price lower. At the same time, let me show you the daily chart. This is what I'm watching right here. So 149 is going to be the critical area. I'm not a bottom picker, so I'm not going to be attempting to pick this off the bottom here. Although the weekly chart is really, really enticing because we do have a lot of support here on the 200 moving average. But again, your risk is substantial because your stop would have to be below 147, 148 change for the entry right here. Potential targets are going to be choppy into 150 and 151. So this is the reason why it's not one of my favorite trades. So with that being said, remember to follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be posting day trades and swing trades for futures as they developed. Yesterday we didn't have a lot of trades that developed because we had an initial run in the morning, and I usually like to day trade futures only in the first 2 hours in the morning when we have the overlap of the London session as well, so we have a lot of movement. Other than that, the afternoon hours may offer you a lot of other entry opportunities. However, it is slightly slower, and not only that, but the risk to reward ratio is a little bigger, and the follow through is not that spectacular as it can be in the first 2 hours. Follow me on Twitter as I will continue to post trades. I also will post swing trades for stocks and ETFs. And also don't forget that we have a new signal program that we're launching on January 9th. That is the official start of the program. So if you're interested, follow me on Twitter right now as I am posting free trades. And then we're going to go to a private area on Twitter where we will have only our subscribers, and our trailing entries, the stops, the trailing management will be for our students only and our subscribers only. So we also have a new class. It is into a new format. It is in Income Power Day Trading Futures, and the class is going to be on January 21st. It starts on January 21st. 2 full days of comprehensive education, Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, with only a 1-hour break at lunch from 12 to 1. And also followed by a 1-day trading lab on the 23rd, plus 30 days you get to follow me with all my entries, stops, targets, trails. So it's a hand-holding system, and that doesn't stop there with unlimited support and coaching, etc. If you're interested, visit my website. It is under the education tab, tradeoutloud.com/futures, or email me to sign up. Or if you want to learn more about the curriculum, it is info@tradeoutloud.com. Thanks so much for listening up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And until then, I hope you all have a very profitable trading day.